Hi everyone, I've been asked to do a Cancer Libra compatibility from a friend of mine whose YouTube name is Azulset. Now then, this is quite an interesting match, you see, where emotional strength faces a sort of balanced position, with Cancer being rather powerful in the emotional sector and obviously Libra being the balance. If you look at the actual sign, you can see the balance is that set of scales. It's good because both signs actually seek security in love and, well, on average, have the same values, which allows them to work together effectively. As a couple, they do work towards the same goals, then that is when things work okay, because they tend to work in unison quite well. When it becomes a bit more opposite, if they don't have the same goals, that's only time when trouble may occur, but on average, Librans tend to have the same sort of goals as Cancerians. This is usually due to the fact that they tend to have very similar perceptions, in a sense of they see the emotion and logic within things and they take that into their own stride and you actually use their heads together. It's the kind of a relationship that actually, due to the way they perceive things and due to the emotional impact, it becomes stronger and gets better over time, so it strengthens and becomes more mature as a relationship. Due to the combined influences, this can make both of them struggle with who they are in the sort of relationship. For example, it can be a bit difficult to see who actually dominates, in a sense, not necessarily erotic dominance, but more rather the entire dominance in different aspects of life, which it would take a while to go through all that, but a Cancerian and a Libran would actually understand that there are different aspects to dominance which can become rather difficult due to both of them being able to control the situation quite easily. This can make insignificant arguments occur, which don't really last very long, because it's a case of the Cancerian and Libran, once they set aside the differences and actually put aside the negativity, they can actually talk things through and become a little bit more closer due to that argument, as well as understand why those arguments occurred. In the end, both find the compromise, so that is a good sort of push forwards, which, even though they might not quite remember why they were arguing, or they may not quite understand the aspects to what they were arguing with, they can find a compromise without even understanding how that compromise occurred, simply because the romance within the relationship is not only emotional, but balanced. If you look at it through the way goals work, as I said before, if they are different, it can cause issues. For example, Libra can irritate Cancer with the indecisiveness, because, well, being the balancing type, they tend to see things on both ends of the spectrum, which can make things a little bit harder to choose. But due to that, the Cancerian will think, oh well, the decision's going a bit stale, we need to get something sorted now, which will in turn irritate the Libran, because Libra tends not to like being rushed. This can, in a sense, make Cancer want to pinch Libran and possibly control the situation, which can sometimes be a little bit too forwards, in a sense, especially due to the emotional energy put within it. Luckily, Libra tends to go along with the Cancerian's decisions and such, and will support them along the way. As long as the goal is the same, it doesn't matter to the Libran, as long as something gets somewhere. Whereas with the Cancerian, there has to be emotional input and effort put into it, which is why a lot of Cancerians do well when it comes to the educational system, as well as Librans, because they can see things from a logical point of view. Cancer can irritate Libra with the emotional drama that sometimes occurs. I'm obviously not saying that all Cancerians are full of emotional baggage. I'm saying when the off chance occurs that they start getting a bit overly emotional, which You know, it can happen to anyone really, but Cancerians are known for doing that more. Uh, which can increase because the Libra kind of follows along with it, it's a bit of a silly thing to do, to follow along with emotional drama. It's best to diffuse the situation with emotional sort of comfort. If it's not controlled quickly, it can lead to much more drama and make the arguments a little bit more hostile, if you will. So it's a good idea to actually talk, which is something what Cancer can do quite well and Libra can do quite well. So in that, as long as you talk to each other, you can reach the perfect compromise towards a situation. You can understand each other even better. If you can't look through different perspectives, then just talk to your Libra and they'll be able to actually help you out and basically give you information on the different perspectives, perhaps. But in the end, this is a lovely combination when the goals are the same. It's a fantastic relationship to be in. They often, what makes the whole relationship work well, the whole basic way of looking towards the same goals, the way of being able to work together, it's something a lot of relationships kind of need in some cases. So for example, if within the relationship you were both wanting to, say for example, go and get a house, you'd be able to both work together in order to achieve that goal. That's only as an example. In the end, Cancer needs to balance themselves emotionally and Libra needs to balance the logic within the relationship, because in the end you need both the emotion and the logic behind it, which in the end, as I say, can make both of them become rather deep, and it's a relationship which grows over time. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe and all that hoo-ha, and I shall see you all again.